Hi guys, this is Jez. I thought I'd do a quick video actually of progress. It is Thursday evening at 20 past 7. It's taken me a huge amount of time to do this model, to be honest. It's really really shouldn't take this long, but it has done, and still got quite a bit to do. But you know, it's one thing having it on a simple CAD plan like this, but it's another thing creating that and making sense of it. Just to give you a little idea, I mean, I'm not making excuses or anything. It is what it is. The hair has taken me an incredible amount of time. I mean, incredible amount of time, and something I'm embarrassed to say, really, probably about 5 hours at least, because it's very, you know, it's to draw it like this is really like nothing in a way, because it's got to work somehow. And so I did it several times, in fact. Tried different techniques. I'm going to try and be as quick as I can. Sometimes I can be really like very wordy and you know, not to the point, as it were. I mean, this is a very small object, so you can't see what I'm about to do, and I don't really know what the purpose of me doing this is, but I've actually zoomed this out. I did this earlier on today, actually. If I zoom that out, that is actually life size on my screen, which might not mean much to you, but basically what I'm trying to say is that if I was to put if I was to try and grab that object, that is how big it is. If I was going to grab it out of my screen, that's how big it looks to me at the moment. I hope that kind of makes sense. So, but what it gives me a good indication of is how much detail do you see at that size. Do you see what I'm trying to get at? So, for example, I can tell you that the thickness of that hair is less than 1 millimeter. So if I was to kind of zoom in right like that, you can get all sorts of detail about the hair, but it's only 1 millimeter thick. So when you take it back to there, wherever it was, I'm not going to take my ruler out now, but you don't really see it. So it's kind of, just to give you an idea, I'm going to kind of tidy up a little bit the kind of cloak, the way it's dragging on the back. It's a lot of play with that to get that to be, you know, absolutely perfect. But things like the tie, for example, again, I mean, it might kind of like, if I put, let's say, for example, I make the body, let's say, see-through, and I make what I called it a hood. Actually, I think it is a hood. I'll make that see-through as well. Just as you can see the tie, it's little things like, for example, where you've actually got to think about what you're doing. The tie has got to be a certain shape so that it can actually fit, so the head can fit when it comes down. So when you look at it on the front, it's kind of, I mean, we're talking millimeters. I mean, that is, you know, obviously that's 4 millimeters. I mean, it's very small anyway. So if you go around and put, like, you know, a chamfer on that line, it's very, you're not really going to see it really at that distance. But I've put it in, obviously. So I'm very, I might sound a bit croaky. I've been working pretty solidly on this all day today. So I've had a very long day, and there's still quite a lot to do. Let's put that back as solid material, and I'll put the hood, I think I call it. There's some things to chisel in, as it were, like a jacket and a what do you call it? Lapel? Can't remember now. Just so tired. But yeah, a collar. That might be a better name. Still got to put that in. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that, but that's got to be put in. I've got to take out a couple of little glitches. There's a little nodule there that I need to sort out. It's been bugging me for ages, and I've got to kind of iron it out, as it were. So that's the current state of play, guys. If, for example, you didn't like the hair again, I wouldn't be able to change that. It just simply takes too long. You know, it's very deceptive actually how long these things take, and I can assure you, you know, I've spent a huge amount of time. Another little thing I'm going to say, actually, the head. Again, you know, you look at this drawing, and you know, you put two cylinders. Well, it doesn't work like that. If I unhide, let's see. Don't think I've got some in there. I might put those ones. See, if you look at it from the front, that's what Stephen's done. If you look at it from the left or the right, doesn't matter. Let's go to the right. That's how his eyes are. Is that what you want? I hope in a way you're going to say yes, because I don't think there's an alternative, to be honest. You can't put spheres there because it will look well, I can show you what it would look like. Let's hide those and unhide by name, a couple of spheres. That's what it will look like. So it looks a little bit kind of goggle-eyed. Let me just move that out of the way. So Z, let's bring him. I mean, you'd have to play with that a little bit, but you know, get the separation right. But yeah, this kind of doesn't look right, does it? I don't know, you might be happy with that. If you go to left, that's what it looks like there. So obviously I've got to put the mouth on. And you know, you've got to do it a little bit differently. You can't just stick two spheres in and say that's the job done. You know, you've got to cut around that cylinder, the head as well, as it were, like an eye socket, you know, to give it a bit of detail. So that's the position, guys. There's I've not even got round to rendering, so that's going to have to be a real rush job. I know you want it tomorrow, or that's what I said it's going to be done by. You said you're flying out on Saturday. It'd be great to know what time you're flying out on Saturday. These things do take longer than you know, sometimes they just do take longer, and we do you know, cut it very fine. So I'm anticipating actually you'll get this on Saturday before you fly out sometime, so I'll email it to you. And that's it. I'm going to give you a call, actually. I'm going to send you the I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and then I'll let you know where it is, and then I'll give you guys a call. Okay. That's it, guys. Yeah, so it's getting there. Just a bit more work to do. We're kind of nearly home and dry. You can't put things like, for example, on the tie. You wouldn't be able to put any detail on that tie. It's way too small. I mean, you're talking here the gap is something like 3 millimeters, so you're not going to put a shield there that's going to be even. You'd need a magnifying glass to see what's on it. So that's it. It's going to have to be plain colours on that, like pretty much plain colours on everything. Purely from the time point of view, I've got to yet put it in a studio environment and light it and set all of that lot up, and that takes time as well. I would have liked to have started that today, but it's going to be cutting it all very fine. So I'll touch base with you guys a little bit later, and yeah, let me know what you think. I'll just do a little kind of, let's get rid of those eyes. So I need feedback on the eyes, what to do with the eyes, and basically let me know what you think. I've got to put the tassel. Don't really know how that tassel really works, to be honest. I don't really feel I've got enough in my mind as to what is really actually going on. Obviously I can put a tube that does some sort of, you know, thing like that. And of course that will be it. I know you mentioned something about I remember, I can check in the emails, something about a 3mm gap there. But I don't know how this connects. How does that work? And actually I looked up on YouTube about how cloaks and things are worn and the correct way that they are worn, and actually well, obviously if you want to be quite sort of thingamajig about it, that's meant to be in the corner. There's not a plan view here, but it's meant to be on the corner on here, far back corner on this what's it? It's this side. Okay, cheers Tom and Joshua. Catch up with you guys later. Cheers, bye bye.